Zoe, thank you so much for joining us. What do you see as the greatest challenges facing people who are designing cities for the future at the moment?
The biggest challenge facing cities across the world is that they're rapidly growing, particularly in Asia and parts of sub-Saharan Africa. This is creating a tremendous pressure on the infrastructure in those cities. It's also creating huge environmental problems as we're seeing rising air pollution, decreasing quality of life in those cities. And it's really important in those growing cities that we're creating the right type of environment for those people to live, work and play.
So it's crucial that people are designing cities that are better in terms of accommodation, transport, employment, lots of different aspects.
Exactly.
And also looking for the opportunities that lie within that.
Yes, so we're finding at the moment with second-tier cities that they're having the opportunity by harnessing new technology to almost leapfrog ahead of our kind of global key cities such as London, such as Shanghai. They're able to step ahead in terms of innovation, creativity and creating more attractive places that people want to come to.
In a way, they're more of a blank canvas. They don't have to retrofit everything in quite the same way.
Exactly. Places like London, obviously, you know, very historic, very built up environment, and to retrofit that environment is very costly, very expensive, and almost you're wedded to the historic nature of the city that you can't, you know, overhaul it. That said, with those sorts of cities, there's a lot of opportunity to enhance them, to bring back certain things into the city and look at ways that technology could actually enhance them. I mean, you could put in an AV loop in the city and pedestrianise great waves of it, which would actually create a much more pleasant environment.
So there's lots for planners to think about, lots to be excited about, because it's a great time of innovation too. We haven't ever seen such a period of human development and the opportunities that presents.
Exactly. The fourth industrial revolution is a very fast-paced time that we're living in at the moment. There's new technologies around AV, artificial intelligence, robotics, all sorts of different technologies that are going to fundamentally change the way our cities operate. And hopefully, if we can use them in a way, we can make our cities much more environmental and low-impact places for citizens to exist in.
And also perhaps socially more enjoyable, sort of creating better communities, because that's been talked about a lot at the summit, about how do we create places that people want to live. Exactly,
cities should be for everybody, you know, for young people and older people as well. We're finding that cities that offer a thriving cultural, creative opportunities are great ways for people to mix intergenerationally so that they can learn from each other, so that they can share knowledge as well. Also, we're finding that the fact that we're getting older and we're staying in employment for longer, we're at the point where we're going to be in a 100-year career. So what does that mean? We need to have the skills, the different environments to keep us interested so that we can further our development.
You've worked in this field a long time, you're a global expert. What are your biggest frustrations about the industry, and are people in it moving fast enough and are willing to change quickly enough?
I think it's the classic conundrum. So you obviously have the private sector, the public sector working together to try and create change. Often some change can be slower than we would like. For example, political leadership might not quite be there. We've seen some great things happening around the world in cities that have been taking leadership decisions, really trying to fundamentally change their places. Example in Bilbao, the mayor there always says that the fact that he had the Guggenheim Museum was a reason why the city is seen as successful. But actually behind the scenes, they did a lot more than just introduce that building to the city. They actually did a lot of stuff around pedestrianisation, improving the environmental quality, which is why that is a successful city.
What would you like to see in terms of where our great-grandchildren might live? What would be your ideal for where they'll end up living, and what would you like to see in our cities of the future?
I think we just need to make our cities more flexible, more adaptable spaces, allowing people different types of opportunities to engage with the city fabric. I would like to see our cities as greener places as well. I think this is particularly very important given the finite resources on the earth, that we create greener, healthier, happier cities for our future generations.
And does something like this summit help with those ideas? Is it a collaborative feeling when you come to something like this and there's people from all over the world joining together?
Definitely. I think it's a really exciting place to be, to meet people from all over the world. They share different experiences, different case studies as well. And the fact that we're mixing public and private sector together, I think, is key. That's the only way we're going to actually action some of this important stuff.
Zoe, thank you so much for sharing your thoughts.
Thank you.